I'm not the first guy to sit here and say persevere. I'm just the guy who's saying it and doesn't look like David Goggins. And if you just give up at the hard stuff, you never get to experience the good stuff. You don't have to wear those tight compression shirts, man. You do it because you love it, but also because you know that it matters to be consistent and to do things like that.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Podcast 23. Today, I've got a friend, Diego, also known as BigManBikes. Diego brings bikes, personality, confidence, and a lot of fun energy through his content. Today, we're going to talk about how he got into bikes, what BigManBikes means, and funny riding stories. And we'll end up with a fun lightning round. So, Diego, welcome to Podcast 23, man. I really appreciate you being here. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. And for people getting to know you for the first time, who is Diego? How would you describe yourself?
I'm a guy who's all about experiences and trying new things, pushing the limits, just trying to do as many things in my life as I can. Right now, I'm super deep into making like biking TikToks, and really that's the only platform I'm on right now, but just like short form video creation, vlogging my bike rides, pushing myself to the limit, trying to ride as far as I can. And doing it while I'm a big guy, an ordinary guy. I'm not a big athlete. I've never have been super in shape. So I think people can relate to that. So I'm just a guy with a camera, a bike, and just likes to do stuff after work.
How would your friends describe you in 3 words? How do you think they would describe you?
Probably like crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy, all over the place. That's not one word, but
yeah.
And you never know what I'm about to say or do.
Yeah. Where did you come up with the BigManBikes? Like, where did that come from? Or like, what made you want to, have that as your TikTok handle?
That's funny. Me and my coworker and my friend Josh, he's a little smaller than me. He's like 5'4", 5'5". Sorry, Josh, if I say you're too short. But ever since we met, we always had this running joke where we've seen these TikToks, Instagram reels are like me without my big man or me without my little man. It's these 2 dudes who are like disproportionate in size, and one of them walks out and they're like no confidence, but when they're by themselves, but then says, when I'm with my big man, and then he comes out walking all tough and stuff. Yeah. Like being around your friends boosts your confidence up. So we've had this running joke since I met him, and where we just call each other like big man and little man, just as like a running joke in the friend group. And so then when I was making my handle for a biking video, I was like, what could be a good catchy handle? And I just thought, big man. I'm the big man in the group. So yeah. BigManBikes. And that's really where it came from.
And when people see your TikTok page, what do you hope they feel?
I mean, I just hope they're like entertained. They see like a visual, quick story that they can follow. Like I grew up watching a lot of YouTube, like Casey Neistat. I love the way he vlogs, and it has like a cohesive story. I've always been really intrigued with storytelling. I do it somewhat in my professional work, but in a different manner. I've always done some form of creative creation, creating something, whether it's video, photographer, audio production, music, stories for work. So I've always been into creation. So I really just want them to see like, hey, this is a creative guy who rides a bike and makes these videos that I can watch that are quick. They're entertaining. They show me what he did today. Like, this is what riding the bike on this trail looks like. This is what a normal person could do any day if they wanted to.
What was that moment or that event or anything? What was that first moment like for you to get you into bikes?
Man, I can't even remember learning to ride a bike. I think I just got on the bike. Uh-huh. I grew up with my older brother, and we rode bikes all the time as kids. Like, we had bikes that I don't even know where they came from. We would just ride our bikes around the neighborhood at night, and during the day ride around with his friends. So it was kind of like, if I want to hang out with my brother and his friends, I have to ride a bike.
Yeah.
So I got on the bike, and I have like memories like me and him like riding up and down like South Austin, where I'm from, like 9-10 p.m. like off these streets where we probably shouldn't have been as kids, like these major streets, like me almost getting hit by cars in Walgreen driveways, riding bikes to go wherever we needed to go because my parents were working, so we would just ride our bikes. And then it kind of just evolved into, well, I'm growing up, but I don't have a car. we don't have money to get a car, and I don't even know how to drive, and nobody has time to teach me. So the bike became like my primary method of transport, and I was like, I gotta ride a bike. If I want to get somewhere, I gotta get there on my own. The bike is a good way to do it because it's faster than walking. The bus, when I was living in Austin, the bus would come once every 30 minutes. So my mindset was kind of like, why would I sit at this bus stop for 30 minutes when I can get to there, when I can get to where I need to go on the bike in 20? So I kind of just got on the bike and I rode a bike every day, commuted to work, commuted to school until I was like 20. And then when I joined the Army, I stopped riding bikes and I got a license and I got a car and I stopped riding. And I recently picked it back up. It really started where I was running on the Riverwalk for a while. It wasn't nearly as enjoyable as riding a bike because it's a lot more physical.
Yeah.
And yeah, it hurts my joints a lot more than riding a bike. I could ride a bike for 10 miles and it won't feel nearly as bad as running one. They have these city bikes here right outside of my house. And so I rented one and I just felt something that I hadn't felt in a long time. I was like, wow, this is the feeling of the wind blowing on me, riding in the darkness, hearing the wheels spinning, knowing that I can get from somewhere to somewhere without being enclosed in a metal box. I can be outside. I can see a lot of things from a different perspective just by being on these bikes. So I got a membership and I rented those for a month. Well, I had set it up to rent it for a month, but after like a week or two, I said, man, I just want to buy like a real bike because these were like e-bikes. So they kind of assisted you. So they were nice. But it wasn't really like the full biking experience, and I had to dock it every hour on the hour, or they'd charge me extra. So then I said, you know what, I want to buy a bike. And previously, like all my bikes had been from Walmart. So I was like, okay, let me see like what I can find at Walmart. Look online. Everybody online's like, buy $1,000 bike. Don't waste your time buying like a bike from Walmart. Don't do that. They'll fall apart. They're not good for anything. If I was gonna wait to like buy $1,000 bike, it would take me a while. I mean, I'd have to save up. It's not the same as going and buying a $250 bike. So I just went to Walmart. I bought this bike. I went on a ride and then I started making videos. I said, I have these video cameras laying around. I'm looking for something to do after work that I feel is creative and gets that creative itch out of me that I really feel sometimes just scratches at me. And so I started riding bikes again. I started making videos. I didn't think anybody was going to watch, but apparently a lot of people were interested in watching me ride bikes.
So that time that you were riding with your brother and you were riding a lot, around what year was that you were riding?
20 years ago, so like 2005, 2006.
2005, 2008. Okay, cool.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
That was around the same time I was, riding pretty heavy, like the early 2000s. And that's what I miss too, man, is like I haven't ridden a bike since around that time. But I remember like back then, man, it was a really good time. Like it was just like time was so much simpler than it is now. Like we have self-driving cars, we have Ubers, we have all these things for transportation. And I think, especially with like AI and everything, I think people lose touch of that. Do you kind of see that too? Like as you start in this riding journey, like there's less people as you would probably imagine back then.
There's a lot of these trails that are like underused.
Yeah.
They're definitely maintained by the city. Like a lot of people don't use them, and they are. And some of these span into like some of the poorest parts of the city, which San Antonio has a lot of poverty problems, and there's a lot of areas that are underserved and underrepresented. But there's still some kids that go out and play, but there's definitely a disconnect.
Yeah.
It's there's a lot less people that go outside nowadays because it's so much easier to just sit in your house and watch a YouTube video. It's so much easier to just do something inside than go outside, especially when you live in an area where it's hot.
Yeah.
It's definitely I think as kids it was, and there is a nostalgic feeling that comes from it, because it does like home back to a simpler time. But definitely as kids, you go outside. We used to go outside and just have fun. There wasn't really phones to go on. I mean, I didn't have a first phone until I was like 15. There wasn't doom scrolling like there is now. There was YouTube, of course. There was like TV. There was a lot of games you could play. There's a lot of things you could do. But nowadays, it's just like multiplied. Like kids don't really think about going outside and riding a bike. Think about, let me go outside and ride my hoverboard. Let me go outside and ride an e-bike or a little motorcycle. But there's still kids who ride those bikes, and sometimes I see them and I'm like, oh, that's nice. But I think it's definitely rarer than it was before. And that is because, technology has advanced and people just don't really want to do it anymore. Like, it's an uncomfortable thing to do exercise. It's a uncomfortable time thing to like make time to do something intentionally. But it's still extremely important to do those intentional things.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think that's why, I engage so much with your content and your page. And even for the listeners out there, that if you don't know Diego and his page, man, I definitely highly suggest taking a look because it is very entertaining. You see a lot of the great things that he's doing, with the trails and the bike trails that he's doing. And I'm interested to know too, Diego, is there a one biking moment that really made you like, man, I love riding or I love doing this?
I think there's a lot of them, but they all kind of serve the same purpose. And like the one that made me fall back in love with it this time was like I wouldn't say it made me fall back in love, but it definitely contributed. Just like riding down the hill and it's like dark. And there's like no sound but the nature. But I'm in the middle of the seventh largest city in the country, but I'm in the middle of this concrete path and there's no one around me, and the only thing I can hear is the birds and the wheels spinning. And it's just a good way to disconnect. Some people say they go home and disconnect and watch TV, or they'll watch YouTube and disconnect, or they'll listen to some music. But for me, that's like a moment that I can look back and think of like, oh, I remember when I was 15 riding home from one of my jobs in the middle of the night after a shift at 11 o'clock at night, and there's no sound and nothing on the streets but me, then the street lights, and hearing the wheels spinning, and just having a clear mind and just knowing once this ride is over, that's it. Like, there's nothing to think about. It's the same thing that a lot of people get when they do endurance sports. It's a good way to clear your mind. When you're running, the only thing you can really think about is moving your legs. And so when you live a life when you're full of thoughts and you're just always constantly thinking about this or that, sometimes having that thing that can turn you off mentally, but keep you going and kind of reset your mind is extremely important. And I think that's, for me, the thing that makes biking so fun. Like, I mean, I work a full-time job. I come home from work. I'm tired, honestly. Sometimes I don't want to go out on a bike. Sometimes I just want to sit at home and just watch TV. Of course, everybody does. But then I go out and I force myself to go to these places. I'm like riding the bike and I'm like, look at all that there is in the world. Yeah, my day at work might not have been the greatest. Maybe I worked on something that was a little depressing.
Yeah.
But when I go out and say, well, there's so much more to the life. There's so much more to life than just working and then coming home and waiting until the next city starts. You can get out there. You can see the world. You can see different perspectives, people's lives. And you can do it all while you're having a good time, getting exercise, feeling the wind blowing in your face.
What would you say is like the best feeling when you are riding?
I think you kind of just get into a flow state,
Yeah.
And sometimes the best feeling is the discomfort. Like, sometimes my legs hurt when I'm riding up a hill.
Yeah.
Sometimes it sucks. Sometimes, like, God, like, maybe, like, sometimes people get off the bike and walk up the hill. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there is something special about pushing yourself through the discomfort and knowing that once you come up on top of all that pain and discomfort, the feeling like, God, my legs hurt so bad. When you make it to the top of the hill, guess what? You get to go down and you get to coast. And so it's just a life lesson that once you persevere through that discomfort, whether it's on a bike, whether it's in real life, whether it's in a situation with your job, with a school, something that's hard, we got to know how to get through the hard stuff, because after the hard stuff is the good stuff. And if you just give up at the hard stuff, you never get to experience the good stuff. So it really is a lesson of just perseverance. And there's no better way to find out and learn how to persevere in life than to just go out and do things. And that's my biggest motto. Like, just go and do things. And if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Fashion doesn't belong to the loudest voice. It belongs to the ones building something real. If you're a brand, model, or creative between 21 and 35, you already know the truth. Talent isn't enough. Direction is everything. And that's where the F State comes in. A fashion PR and talent development platform built to turn raw presence into cultural impact. Follow at the F State on Instagram, because in this industry, rebels rise, creators disrupt, and citizens are made.
I think a lot of people need to hear that. And I think that's why so many people, you have a good amount of followers, man. And I think that's what everything you just said, I was trying to find the words for it, but that's exactly, I can feel that why. And it's cool too, bro, because you're so real with it. Like, even on your videos, you're like, man, I don't want to be out here. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? That kind of mentality, that perseverance that you talk about is really intriguing. And it really does, motivate me to want to push to do better or try to do things that are outside of my comfort zone. Do you think biking helped you become more confident, or is that just something that you've always had?
I think it's something that I built through life experience. I don't think some people are born confident.
Yeah.
Some people are born more predisposed to be confident, I should say. But you can teach yourself anything in this life. Anything you want to learn, you can teach it using the internet, the same thing people are watching this on, And biking, I wouldn't say it's made me more confident. If anything, my biking videos, when I posted them, I thought, well, people might think I'm slow. Or people might not think, it's because I am a big guy. I know I'm fat. Like, I'm not delusional. Like, I'm not the first guy to sit here and say, persevere, push through. I'm just the guy who's saying it and doesn't look like David Goggins.
Yeah.
And I'm still doing it, right? So I think a lot of my life experience has led me to this point, and a lot of my life experience has taught me the lesson that allows me to be confident, and that's that it doesn't really matter. If you mess up, it's fine. If people don't like what you're doing, that's on them. Somebody's going to resonate with what you're doing, and you just have to put it out there, because if you never put it out there, you'll never know if anybody cared. You'll never know if anybody feels the same way you do. But in my professional life, I literally just talk to people for a living, Yeah. I'm a reporter, so I interview people from all walks of life, senators, congressmen, elected officials, police chiefs, police officers, criminals, sheriffs, anybody in the community. So a lot of that translates over to knowing how to be an authority, knowing how to set interviews up, how to ask questions. I've done a lot of professional production work for other people and for organizations. So that kind of carried over, but it all started when I was a teenager. Like I told you, I like Casey Neistat's vlogs on YouTube, and so I bought a camera. You never know. Like, did anybody really want to watch a 17-year-old kid vlogging in high school? No. Yeah. No. The only people who watched that were people who went to my high school. And I made these videos, and I can look back at them, and I'm like, oh, man. I did a challenge where I did 30 days of 10-minute videos every day, vlogging every day. I'd film through school. The teachers just let me film with the cameras. They were just like, whatever, like, as long as he's doing his work. And I had straight A's, so they didn't care. And I had a big old DSLR, like entry-level DSLR. It was shaky video. It was low quality. I would carry it on my bike, and it would be like, brrr, and you would get like all kinds of motion sickness watching my videos. It was raw, it was gritty, it was bad editing, but that's how I learned how to edit video. That's how I learned what it takes to film, how to talk to a camera. That was my first entry to it. But the most important thing I learned was that there is an audience for everyone, and that your videos have more impact than you think. I can remember to this day 4 or 5 times that I've ran into people after high school years later, 5-10 years later, who told me, hey, I just want to say thank you for making those videos, because I like to go back every once in a while and look back at them and remember what things were like when we were back in high school. And it's kind of like a time capsule that you made. When I was making those videos, I didn't think it was going to be a time capsule. I was like, oh, this is so fun. I like to make little vlogs. I like to make videos. Yeah. But to have people come back and be like, oh, I still look back at those videos that you made back then. They mean a lot to me, because it lets me remember who my friends were, what they talked like, what we looked like, what we were all doing at this time in our life. And that's when I learned, okay, all you have to do is put stuff out. Yeah. Somebody's going to resonate. If not now, then maybe later. And in the worst case, at least you'll have something to look back at.
I can't wait to look for those videos too, man.
Don't look for those.
Because that sounds awesome, man, to be able to go back in time like that. Because, that just sounds so cool. Yeah, I didn't even know about that. So that's really cool. And
yeah, that's a niche one.
Yeah, man. And I'm interested to know, like, as I'm growing my podcast too, that's something I think about is like maybe negative comments and people like doubting me. have you received any of that, like currently with like what you're doing right now with the biking? Like, have you been receiving negative comments or like people doubting you at all?
Well, first let's touch on the biggest ones that I get.
Yeah.
That when I first posted that first video, first of all, I made that video at 11:30 at night. The night after I brought like my bike home, I had my girlfriend film. I was like, "Hey, do you want to film a quick video on this?" I was like, "I'm gonna make like a biking channel," because the day before, it was really funny. I was in my workplace and my boss, I was saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna become a bike influencer," and then you aren't gonna hear from me anymore because I went on one bike ride. And then my boss, she said to me, she said, "You went on one bike ride and think you're a bike influencer all of a sudden." And then so the next day I was like, "All right, watch me." And so I made this video at 11:30 at night, put it together really quick, like, and then I was like, "All right, I'm gonna post it tomorrow. Nobody's probably gonna watch it, but I'll just keep posting videos after." You know, and I think that video is like over 100K views now. I'm like, "Oh wow!" Like I had no idea, but I got a lot of people telling me like, "Oh, that video," for context, was saying like, in 6 months, I want to ride from San Antonio, Texas to Austin, which is 80 to 100 miles, depending on the route you take, right? So I got a bunch of comments from these dudes who are like elite bikers, or like they bike every weekend for hundreds of miles, or they go on bike rides every day, and they all have like these $1,000 bikes, and like they wear the biking jerseys, all this stuff, and they're like, "You could do that in one day if you wanted to. You could do that right now if you really wanted to. You could ride 100 miles straight off the bat. You don't need to train for that. You're just being lazy." And I'm just thinking, like, I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah. You are like delusional. Do you have any idea what the average person can do physically? Yeah. And even after just like a couple of weeks of training, where I'm doing like 45 miles in like over 4 days, I can confidently sit here and tell you that anybody who tells you can ride 100 miles on a bike with no training and no practice is delusional. Like, yeah. First, the thought of doing something for 7 hours straight that you've never done before, that it takes physical effort, is ridiculously crazy. And then I also got a lot of comments about, why did I buy a bike from Walmart? And a lot of people who are like, why didn't you just buy $1,000 bike? Or why didn't you buy like a $500, $600 bike used on Facebook? It's like, you wasted your money buying a Walmart bike. Well, I've ridden my bike for 200 miles now, and it doesn't feel like a waste. I mean, it feels like it feels like it let me ride a bike without having to pay a ton of money.
Right.
It feels like it broke the barrier down for me, and that's something we should be pushing the narrative of, rather than telling people, if you want to learn how to ride a bike or you want to get into cycling, you better have $1,000 just to buy the bike, and then another $200 to buy the helmet and all the equipment that you need. Which is just ridiculous, you know. It's becoming an elitist sport. Back in the day, for like, people would just go to Walmart, Target, buy a bike. You didn't need to buy a big fancy brand unless you really wanted to be elite about it. And so that was two of the main things that I kept getting over and over. And then I remember I got this one guy who was like, it was one of my first recap videos where I showed a bunch of rides that I did on the Walmart gravel bike. That one also is like over 100K views now. The dude commented, "The bike will make it. I'm not so sure about you." And I was like, okay, buddy. I was like, okay. I was like, all right, thanks. I was like, okay, if you say so, bro. Yeah. Anyways, just keep moving it, bro. And like I said, some people resonate, but I kept posting, and this guy kept commenting. But instead of commenting like that, he was like, "You're not gonna make it, bro." Because I replied to this guy's comment. I replied to almost every single comment. It's fun, you know. I get the notifications. Why wouldn't I? Yeah. Like, if I have something I can say back, I'm gonna say it back. Let's have a conversation. So I replied to him, and after a while of him just commenting random stuff, he started commenting like, "Bro, you made a fan of me. I doubted you, but now I believe in you." And then now he still comments on my videos, and I'm like, "Oh. Yeah. I'm happy here, bro, but geez, you didn't have to come swinging out the bat saying I wasn't gonna fucking do it." Yeah. Like I said I'm gonna do it because I wanted to do it. Like, I didn't make these videos thinking anybody was gonna watch it in the first place. I was just putting it out. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna document this because I want to have something fun to do. But all the love and the support and all the followers has definitely helped. It helps in the terms of like those days when I feel like, all right, maybe I can skip today. I'm like, no, I can't. Like, I gotta go put these miles in, because not only am I expecting myself to do it, but there's other people who are holding me accountable. They may not be like, I don't know who's out there really saying like, "Oh, is BigManBikes riding his bike today? Is he gonna post his video tomorrow?" Right? But I know that they are expecting a video. I have people who comment and like on every single video.
Yeah.
And it kind of just does keep me at a level of accountability. Like, yeah, even if I don't feel like riding a bike, I'm doing this, and I'm not doing it just for me anymore. I'm doing it for 1,300 other people.
Yeah, man, it's bigger than yourself. Yeah, I agree, and I think that's why so many people resonate with you is because of how much you're doing. Like, it's not easy, and there's people out there that, you know, like, man, you know, you're just like everybody else. It's not like you're this one of the elitist or, hey man, you got to buy all this fancy stuff or whatever. Like, no, bro, you're coming like very real, genuine, and authenticity. And I think a lot of people relate to that. They relate to authenticity, and I think that's like the biggest thing I get from you. And that's why I was so excited when you were like, man, more than happy to do a show with you. And, you know, we connected, you know, off camera about it. And I was like, man, dude, I'm so excited to like be able to do a show like this with somebody. So for someone out there who wants to start riding but feels nervous or insecure, what would you say to that person? Maybe like, what are like maybe the top 3 tips you would tell them? Because yeah, this is also speaking from me too, man, because I'm like, damn, dude, like I always kind of go back and forth if I should get into it or not. So like anybody like myself, what would you kind of say to them?
I think the hardest part about doing anything is just getting started. So
Yeah.
it's often like a leap of faith. No, you know, you kind of have to just do it and see how it comes out. You know, and the good thing is there is ways to do it without breaking the bank. You know, I know $1,000 bike. You don't need $1,000 bike to figure out if you like riding a bike. Like, just go to Walmart, buy a bike. It doesn't even have to be the same one I got. There's a lot of bikes for a lot of different people. 2, when you're out there and you're riding, you might be thinking other people might be looking at you, or you might be thinking, oh, this person's so much faster than me, or how do I look on this bike? But at the end of the day, you gotta understand everybody's out there doing their own thing, and they're doing it at their own level. Nobody knows why you're on a bike. Nobody knows if it's your first time. Nobody knows if what you're out there doing. The only person that it matters to really is you. So if you want to do something, you gotta just get over that fear and go out there and do it.
Yeah.
And 3, for the bigger guys, like, you don't have to wear those tight compression shirts, man. You don't have to do any of that. Like, some people are like, you don't need to buy all this and that. You don't need to get the micro skinny seats. There's a lot of good ergonomic ones on Walmart, Amazon. Just buy something that makes you comfortable. Then worry about what the pros say you need later. You're not going to be a pro riding a bike. We're just people. We just got to have a comfort. Because if you're not comfortable on the bike, you're not gonna ride it, and you gotta enjoy what you're doing. Like, you gotta have comfort first, and then you gotta get out there. Those are 2 things. Because without either of those, you're just gonna have a bike sitting on the floor in your garage, and it's gonna rust. There's no point in spending a bunch of money in it. Just go out there and do it.
What has helped you with that comfort side? Is it like getting a new bike seat or maybe the grips? Like, what would you say is probably the biggest thing that was like, hey man, I wish I would have known this earlier to make it a more comfortable ride for me in the beginning?
Definitely a bike seat is the number one must. Like, people will tell you to get like the bike shorts and the bike bibs. Like, I got some bike shorts off Amazon, you know, not some fancy brand or anything. It's from like somewhere from China. It's like bike something, like some brand that doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
And those are good. They have the padding, but if you're not comfortable wearing something like that, you can get by with a good like bike seat. Like, if you don't want to be wearing these tight shorts, you don't have to. You really don't. I bought an ergonomic seat for $45 off Amazon. I switched it out myself. It came with the bike tools that I needed. I put it on there, and my butt didn't hurt anymore. Did I need the bike shorts? No. Did I get them because I wanted to? Yeah. And does it help? I don't really know. It might, but the bike seat alone, changing the bike seat, has made my rides immensely more comfortable. Riding without them, I was like a little bit of discomfort every here and now. And if you're not used to pushing through discomfort, your butt hurting, it's going to be enough to keep you off the bike. It's going to be enough to stop you in your tracks. So doing anything that you can to reduce that friction is extremely important, because the more friction you have in an action in front of you, the less likely you are to take it.
Do you wear the gloves too, like the biking gloves, like because you're holding on to the pedal or the handlebars, right?
I've thought about those, but I haven't gotten any. I did put ergonomic grips on my bike, and those are nice too because I have a lot of like wrist issues.
Yeah.
But I could just rest it and like it's wider on the edge like a wing, and you can hold on to it, and it has helped a lot. And those were only like $15 too.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yeah,
And
so-
you had to change them out, right? The ones that came, the stock ones, you had to change them out for the ergonomic ones.
Yeah, and it's pretty simple. Literally, all you have to do is pull them off and put them on and screw it.
Oh, sweet.
Super simple. Like bike maintenance is a lot easier than people try to make it seem.
Yeah, it's not like changing car parts out.
Yeah, all you need is an Allen wrench.
And then what kind of videos for you have been the most fun for you to make? What would you say videos are the most fun?
Like a lot of the videos that I do make are like those on the bike vlogs.
Okay.
You know, and I try to. I think of them as like micro vlogs of every single ride that I do, and those are just fun to do. One, because I get to ride my bike, and two, because I'm like, okay, I'm riding this bike. While I'm riding it, let me think about what I'm seeing in front of me, what's happening to me that I can create a storyline with. So when I'm riding and I see something, I'm like, okay, that's something that if somebody sees it in the first 3 seconds, that's going to grab their attention. And so then I can front load that and be like, hey, look, I'm about to show you myself riding this bike, but at some point in this ride, this thing happens.
Right.
And that's going to be the front. And then I go, and then now I start telling the story. I'm going out, I'm coming back in, and at the end of it, here's all that we did. You just saw a couple of the things that happened and a couple of the views that I got. And that's just it's just a fun thing to do to me. I did start a new challenge where I'm like trying to ride all of the maps or all the trails in San Antonio. So I have a map that I'm like blocking off, and that's been pretty fun too. But I definitely the bike vlogs, because if I could do a bike vlog every day, I would, but I'm not riding my bike every day because my body's not ready for that, you know.
And you're doing all the editing yourself too, right?
Yeah, I do all the editing myself. So I go out and I ride, and then I come home, unload the SD card,
Yeah.
and then just start chopping. So a lot of it is mental marking. Like I'm like, okay, I know at this point I saw this.
Yeah.
Not like the exact timestamp, but I know like, okay, at some point when I was riding around this stretch, I saw 2 little dogs and 2 guys fishing today. Or at some point today, I saw a tree on the ground, and so like, okay, the tree on the ground is something I want to grab. On this moment, I do it a lot with how I record too. So if I say something or I know I'm about to say something, I'll restart the recording so that I have a fresh timestamp, and then just go later and grab like, okay, I recorded this bit specifically because I said this. When I first started out, I was kind of running the camera the whole time, and so I'd have to scrub through and find it. But I've kind of gone better at how specifically I make these videos by marking them on the recordings while I'm doing it, so that when I go back later and review footage, it's a little bit easier.
Whenever you do record, are you using like a GoPro, or are you using like, have you ever seen like those Meta glasses that like Oakley makes? Like those would be really cool too. Like, have you seen any of that, or what are you using right now?
Primarily, I'm using the DJI Pocket Osmo 3, which is not a sports camera. You're not actually supposed to use it on a bike, and it's not waterproof. But I had it already because I had bought it at one point to do a promotional video for one of my old professors, and then I made it, and then I just kind of had it sitting around. So that was kind of part of the motivation. I was like, let me use this. But I do actually have the old Ray-Ban Meta glasses, the first ones.
Oh, the first gen.
And I've used those when it's raining. A few weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I bought the Meta Oakley Vanguards.
Yeah.
And I made one video with them, and I really didn't like it. I
really?
didn't like it. It was like fisheye. On the outside, the video was distorted, and the audio was not my favorite because the mic is right here, so all you can hear is my nose breathing.
Oh, no.
So I was like, I really don't like this. The video is too messed up. The battery life sucks, so I couldn't get so much footage.
Yeah.
I could only record like maybe 20, 30 minutes total, and then the battery would be dead. So it's a cool concept. It works for some people. It didn't work for the way that I like to make videos. I'm interested in getting like an action camera, like the DJI Action 6.
Yeah.
But for now, I have the Pocket Osmo, and I'll probably just stick with that for a while.
And then last thing on the camera stuff, because I'm a big tech guy myself, so I like hearing about all the tech. Have you looked into like GoPros maybe, or is there like anything good for that?
I used to have a GoPro when I was in high school. After I bought my first big camera, I bought
Yeah.
a GoPro for something I don't remember. I don't think I ever really used it.
Oh, okay.
I used it a good amount, but I watch a lot of videos about tech too because I love tech stuff too.
Yeah.
And most people say like the GoPros are like inferior to the DJI and the
Oh.
and what's the other one? Insta 360. They have their own action camera too, and the
Yeah.
360 cams. They said the GoPro is like worse, which is interesting because all
Oh,
they do is
man.
action cameras. But yeah,
Dang, dude. And yeah, I mean, your content looks amazing. That's why I was really interested to know like the backstory when we talk about editing, because I guess I'm like, dang, dude, like the way the views and everything, it looks really, really cool. Anything like bizarre or like funny that happened while you were writing?
a lot of things I see is like animals, man. I've seen
Yeah.
like snakes. I've seen a bunch of wild dogs. One dog tried to attack me the other day.
Oh,
I got so lucky that the guy's dog, guy's owner, was across the street, so he was like yelled at the dog like, "Hey, you need to." He said like, "Hey, stop it!" to the dog. He said like, "Hey, fucking stop it!" to
Yeah.
his dog, and the dog literally stopped. And I started laughing so hard. I was like, "No way, the dog stopped." Goose, ducks. I see this same duck in the same spot every day, but it's like at the top of the hill,
Yeah.
the top of a hill. But the duck is always like staring at the wall. So I don't know what's wrong with that duck, but
dang.
besides that, like funny stuff, not anything super funny. I've seen some crazy like flood waters, like a lot of stuff. And after we have flash flooding events, the amount of trash that comes up is crazy.
Yeah.
But no, nothing super funny that I can think of right now.
Has your bike ever like failed you at like the worst possible time? Like I know you're a big fan of your Walmart bike, but like, you know, has there been a time where it just like gave out on you or any issues when at the worst time?
Not yet. Not
Not
yet.
yet.
So,
Okay.
you know, I did do like a chain cleaning and like re-greasing like at 100 miles. I'm trying to do the maintenance on it. There's definitely more maintenance I need to do on it.
Yeah.
Just because, like, at the end of the day, the bike is cheaper and it does have parts that aren't as good. Like, that's facts. Like, I never sat here and said a Walmart bike is just as good as $1,000 bike.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
objectively, there's a reason one is $1,000.
Yeah.
This bike just lets me start riding and lets regular people ride their bikes. So I'm sure there's going to be moments and times where I'm going to have to do repairs on it. I'm going to have to do something. But I have yet to get a flat tire, and I literally have ran over glass, nails.
Yeah.
Like, I've done all this stuff, and I'm not running tubeless or anything. I have a regular old bike tire from Walmart.
Yeah.
Today, actually, I took my bike and my car to a part of the west side of San Antonio to finish that part of the map. And my front wheel is removable with, like, a quick release. And I
Yeah.
guess I didn't tighten it on that well. So I slid through like a little bit of mud and like dry mud, and then the wheel kind of like came off, kind of.
Yeah.
But all I had to do was literally just flip it over and readjust the wheel, tighten it back on. And at the end of the day, I don't expect it to be perfect. I expect it to just ride, you know.
Absolutely.
I'm sure I could go faster on a better bike, but I'm gonna probably ride this one until I can't anymore.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. You gotta get it hung up on in your place, man. Like put it in a museum or something, bro. What's something like bike people understand that non-bike people don't?
I guess just like want to go out there, you know, like some people might understand why you want to go ride 20 plus miles or 30 plus miles, and just like in the middle of like a Saturday morning, you want to go out and ride for 2 hours, 3 hours, and that's because they had never done it, right? Like
Yeah.
once you do something, you understand why people want to do it. Like, I mean, I haven't been biking, like even when I biked before, it was more out of necessity. I was a commuter. I had to ride my bike to get where I wanted to go. And this is like my first foray into riding just for fun. Riding for endurance, riding like distance, like, oh, I like riding just to ride. And that puts it in a new light and a new mentality. But I think that's a thing where someone might not understand why you choose to wake up and go do something like that on your day off, you know. And then it goes back to just being intentional, you know. You do it because you love it, but also because you know that it matters to be consistent and to do things like that.
That was one question I wanted to ask you too about biking. Are you familiar with like the runner's high? Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you get the same kind of like runner's high when you bike too?
I don't know if I've gone to that point yet. Maybe I have.
Okay.
I feel like one thing I get is like Maybe I have, because sometimes, I'll finish running like 10 miles, 15 miles, and I'll get off the bike and my legs don't feel like anything. My legs feel like
Oh,
they
wow.
feel better. They feel better than I did before.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But then I'll wake up the next morning and my legs will be a little sore.
Yeah.
Right? But in the moment, I'm like, God, I'm glad I did that bike ride, because now my legs feel better than they did before.
Absolutely.
But I'm sure you do get it eventually. Like maybe when I break 100 miles, I'll get it, and I'll be able to tell you, like, yeah, I got it. It feels great, bro.
Yeah. I haven't done it in a while, but that was my favorite thing, was to achieve that runner's high, where it's like you don't feel nothing. You're just like nothing but pure joy and serenity. And I'm like, man, dude, I mean, you would think that there's a way to achieve it while biking too, because you're still, your heart rate's still going, like everything's still in motion consistently. So where do you want to take Big Man Bikes in the future?
I mean, I'll take it as far as people want to go with me. I'm gonna keep posting. If it can eventually get big enough to like sustain me without like needing a job, like, dude, I'll drop everything and go ride my bike from Alaska to Argentina. Like, if you guys want to watch me do that, then I'll do it. I have the capability. I know how to survive. I know how to camp. I know how to film. I know how to edit. I know how to live remotely. I know how to live minimally. I know how to ride a bike. I love endurance. I mean, if it can take me to the point where I can make this my career of just being like, I just want to make videos, and I want to make videos about doing something that I already love doing. If this can support me to do that, then great. If it just continues being a hobby where I still just make videos of myself riding when I ride, then great. Like, if people want to follow me and they want to watch me do what I do every day, sure, go ahead. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a community. If it goes to something more, that's awesome. If not, I have my career already. Like, I know what I'm doing in life. I'm good where I'm at. This is fun, and I enjoy doing it. And I'll do it as long as I enjoy doing it. I'm never gonna. Realistically, I'm not gonna do something just to do it. If it's not something that I enjoy and has value to my life and helps me grow as a person, or work towards something that I really want to achieve, then I won't do it anymore. But I just don't see that happening in the near future.
Especially once you complete the ride over to Austin, man. I think it's gonna be really cool to like. I think what's really gonna be like, blow up is maybe like the brand and like the merch. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever thought about doing merch or anything like that?
No.
Oh, okay. Big Man Bikes, dude. That'll be dope, man. I'm just trying to think of some things that would be cool. And then what about like a group ride community? Have you thought about that too? Like maybe getting a community?
I've had a lot of people reach out to like, hey, let's ride together, or let's go on a group ride. It's just like, the only problem with that is like scheduling. Like, I work a job where my hours are variable. Like, I usually get off at 5, but there's times that I have to work over. Everybody's got a different schedule, the weather. Like, when I get home, I don't know, like at 6:30, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go ride. As far as like organizing a group ride, I don't know if we're there yet. I don't know if enough people will be interested. If they are, we can. I mean, I've never really done a group ride, but I'd be open to it, I guess.
And that would be super cool, man. I think just as a fan, right? If that's something that you end up creating in the future, is like a group ride community catered to these big men that, like, you're promoting a healthier lifestyle. Like, hey, man, if you want to, have a healthier lifestyle and get away from the typical drinking, smoking, doom scrolling lifestyle, like, here's the place for you, I think that would be really cool, man. Especially as a fan, bro, like of you, that would be really cool.
And there is like a lot of big guys who message me, or they'll comment and they'll be like, hey, like, this is how much I weigh. Like, is it okay if I ask you how much you weigh? And I just want to know if I can use this bike, because there's a lot of these bikes, and people, they say like you can't use them if you're too big, and so people don't buy them. They're like, oh, okay, well, I guess this sport isn't for me. And I think that's one of the things that resonates with people. They see me and they're like, okay, yeah, he's a big guy, and the bike says he can't ride it, but he's riding it. You know, like, and if he can do it, then so can I. And I think it does help people to have that like-minded community. Right now we're only virtual, but maybe one day we'll take it off the ground and be in person.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like doing like a meetup or something would be cool. Do you have like a dream collaboration that you would like to do in the future?
Shoot, somebody, once I'm done with this 6 months, when any of those bike brands want
Yeah,
to
yeah, let's go.
Specialized, Giant.
Yeah.
That's the only two, Canon something. I know those three names, man. Any of you guys want to give me a bike?
Yeah,
Go
absolutely.
ahead. Like creator wise, like I don't really know any creators like that, to be honest. In the space, like I see some of my mutuals. I don't really know their names like off the top of my head, but I watch their
Right.
videos. I see what they do. I mean, like brand wise, Strava could be cool. I use Strava all the time.
Yeah.
I like Garmin. Like, I really haven't thought that forward. You know, if
Yeah.
it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like I
Yeah.
said, we're just doing it for the love of the game.
Most people in fashion are chasing attention. The smart ones are building authority. If you're a brand, model, or creative between 21 and 35, you're standing at the moment where visibility becomes power. The F State exists for that moment. We connect talent development, fashion PR, and cultural storytelling into one system, designed to move careers forward. Not hype, not guesswork, structure, strategy, culture. Follow at the F State on Instagram, THEFSTATE, and step into the future of fashion.
Yeah, man. I wonder if there's any brands out there like in Austin or like maybe these independently owned companies that are trying to, get bigger. That would be a cool collab. Like if they start like providing you with some of their merch or something like that.
Yeah.
That would be cool, man. Last question I have about the future plans, man. 1 year from now, what would make you say, man, this was worth it?
I think honestly, if I'm just like healthier, you
Okay.
know, like if
Yeah.
I'm healthier, but I also like if people are still watching,
Yeah.
if we're still at the same rate, if I'm at 10,000 followers in a year from now, then I'm like, damn, this thing has potential, If I'm
Absolutely.
at anywhere, honestly, like if I just have the same amount of people who like to comment and talk to me and watch my stuff, and most importantly, if I'm still having a good time, like,
Yeah.
then that's all that really matters to me. Like, a year from now, I just hope I'm still riding the bike,
Yeah, yeah. Diego, I wanted to finish up with a lightning round, man. You're more than welcome to speak more if you want, but it's just kind of just quick answers. Favorite bike you ever owned?
I used to have a Schwinn with the drop bars from Target. It cost me like $300. It was like black and it had like red stripes on it. And I took that to school, all of high school. And sometimes I would get flat tire, but it was like a road bike, so it had skinny little tires.
Yeah.
And it's still in my backyard at my parents' house, but it's rusted up. And I was like, I'm not even messing with that.
That'd be cool to restore it, maybe like do a restoration on it or something.
Yeah, I thought about that, but there's like, I looked into it before I bought a bike, and I was like, it'll cost me more money to restore
Oh,
this bike than to buy a new one.
Yeah,
And it's not even it's not even like a super good bike. It's also a Walmart bike. So
Yeah.
everybody like, why are you even wasting your fucking time?
Yeah. Hey man, it's the meaning behind it. It's the sentimental
Yeah.
value, right? What would you say is your dream bike?
I honestly, I don't know anything about bikes like that, bro.
Oh, okay.
I would say I like that Specialized brand just because I have their water bottle I bought at the store and I like their logo. And I think it's like most people would say like a $10,000, $5,000 like carbon fiber bike. Like,
Damn.
I mean, I don't know, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I seen these bikes called like Primo bikes, and it's like a small company I think in Washington or something, and they have like their logo is really cool because it says like Primos, but the O is like a face.
Oh, nice.
And it's kind of like cool colors, so it's not just like your generic black bike or white bike or like all these high speed bikes that people buy.
Mm-hmm.
So probably one of those because those cool. It's a small business,
Yeah.
but also it's like it's artistic. It's not just like another bike.
Yeah, I need to check them out, man, because my sister lives in Seattle. So I wonder, I'm going to do some research on them and check them out because they sound cool. So solo ride or group ride?
I'm gonna say solo because I just like something about the solitude is special. For me, like just being out there by myself with my thoughts, the camera, just me, like in nature. Like obviously, there's other people that I run into, animals that I run into, places that I go where it's more populated. But just like being there by yourself, I'm a kind of person that if you're with me, like I'm checking where you're at. I'm worried about not like I'm worried about you, but I'm making sure you're still there. making sure you're good. Like, so I'd rather just go by myself because then I can just focus on the ride. I don't have to think about anything but me, and I can just be like, okay, this is my speed. I don't have to worry about anybody else's speed or keeping up with someone or slowing someone down. But to be honest, I haven't done that many group rides. I've ridden with a friend once or twice.
Yeah.
But I think I'm a solo ride. I'm a solo ride guy. There's something about doing stuff by yourself is special, and more people should just take the plunge and do stuff by yourself as long as it's safe.
One question did come up while you were talking about that. I noticed that you use the Strava app a lot on your videos. Do you also use like a Garmin or like an Apple Watch, like when you're like to like track your health and all that, or what do you use it for that?
I use a Garmin. I have the Phoenix 8. I started with the Phoenix 6 like a long time ago, like 2020 when I used to be in the Army and running a lot. And then I got this like a year or two ago. I just like the health metrics, you know. I wear it like 24/7. Like I charge it like once every month. And I use it to track it, all my like data and stuff, and then when I'm done, it automatically syncs up to Strava. And I just share the Strava because it's like a social network more so than Garmin. Like less people have a Garmin device, but everybody can use Strava on their phone.
Yeah.
So and I have the Strava linked in my TikTok. So and a few people have added me. You know, like actually I think like 15 people have, and we follow each other on there, and we leave comments, kudos and stuff. Like it's not necessarily my community, but it is a community of people who click that link and we're connected on Strava.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I use Strava too, so yeah, I need to hit you up on that because I do some runs here and there. Not as extensive, but that's something I like to do. Next question. Best time to ride, morning, afternoon, or night?
I'm a night owl.
Okay. Dang, you're out there riding in the night, dog? Like no lights
Honestly,
or nothing?
Not that late, not that late.
Oh, okay.
Because the areas I go through, there is a lot of unhoused individuals and like dogs and all kinds of like. One time I saw a fox at night, like jump across. You know, so right now I try to shoot like at 6:30.
Oh, that's perfect.
And go out, yeah, because that's when the sun starts going down right now. But as my mileage keeps increasing, like once I start hitting these weeks where I have to do like a 30-mile ride on a Monday, I'm gonna have to start waking up early. I'm not looking forward to it because I like to go to sleep around 12:30, 1:30.
Yeah.
But gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, maybe it'll be better for me. I haven't tried the morning rides that much, but let me tell you that the middle of the day in the heat of Texas is it's the worst time to do it.
Yeah, it's pure hell. It's pure hell. That's what I'm not looking forward to either, man, is the heat coming up. It's already starting to get hot. And I'm like, dang, dude, I can feel it starting to preheat right now. So what's your favorite food after a long ride?
I honestly try to eat before.
Okay.
Sometimes, like, I'll have a lunch, but I don't know. I guess after a ride, something I've been eating a lot of is these, it's called, like, Real Good Food. And it's, like, these chicken nuggets. They're kind of like Chick-fil-A style.
Okay.
But they're a little different, but they're meant to be somewhat healthy. Then I just toss them in the air fryer, and it's just, like, pretty good chunks of chicken with lightly breaded. And I get them at Sam's Club in, like, bulk, like 3 pounds for $10. So that's, like, a quick snack that I just toss in the air fryer when I take a shower.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Because I figured, man, after that long, exerting that much energy and that much, like, I figured it'd be something a little bit more heavier. Like, man, I'm about to pig out on some, In-N-Out or something. Yeah. That's more me, because that's what I used to do, man. When I did, like, long runs or something, I'd be like, man, dude, like, I'm so exhausted. I would have, like, Chick-fil-A or whatever ready to go. Yeah. It's not the healthiest thing to do, but it's like just kind of like a reward for myself, Do you listen to, next question is like music while you're riding or just listen to the outside sounds?
So when I first started riding on those city bikes, I would always have headphones on, and I would either be listening to like a podcast, music, or like NPR, like just listen to the news of the day because they have a lot of talk shows on there and stuff. Yeah. And but ever since I started making videos, I've just been raw dogging it, and sometimes it's difficult. Yeah. But a lot of times I've gotten really used to it now, like listening to the nature, listening to the wheels spinning, or it's vroom 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 vroom. It's nice, but also I kind of have to. In some of the places that I go to, I have to be able to hear everything that's going on. Like, not only is there like other people around, but there's dogs, there's all kinds of animals. And then some of the areas that I'm planning to go into next, there's like wild boar, there's like bobcats, there's coyotes. Like I kind of have to listen to the nature. Like you have to be aware, you have to be alert. So I've been going no music. It was an adjustment at first,
Yeah.
but at first the rides were shorter. And the last time I went like an 18-mile ride, I was thinking like, damn, maybe I should listen to some music or something. But I think I'm just gonna keep just raw dogging it for the sake of like mental discipline. Like it's it is a little bit uncomfortable being in the silence, but like I said, like sometimes you have to push through that discomfort and just be like, okay, well, for the next hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, it's just gonna be me and the sound of these wheels spinning.
Yeah, absolutely, man. A couple more questions for me is, would you prefer the fastest bike or the coolest looking bike?
Probably the coolest looking one because I don't need to move that fast. Like I don't need a super aerodynamic bike.
Yeah.
I'm not here trying to win the Tour de France.
Yeah.
Like I'm just trying to ride a bike. So like, I want the bike to be something that I like to look at, and then I like taking out. Like, so I don't really need a bike that's super fast. I'd rather have it look cool.
One word to describe your riding style and one word to describe your TikTok page.
I would say casual.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm just out there. I'm just riding my bike. I'm not sitting there saying like, oh man, I gotta up the next mile to catch up my mile time. Like,
Your PRs.
I'm not worried about the PRs really. Like I have the Garmin on. I can look down on it. I don't really care how fast I'm going. I'm riding the bike that day. It's disconnected from how I rode it the day before, and it's disconnected from how I'm gonna ride it the day after. Like that ride is that ride. Some rides are slower, some rides are faster. If I need to stop and look at my phone, if I want to stop and look in a stream of water, I'm not worried about, oh, I gotta pause my Strava or I'm gonna look slow. Like I'm just doing me. TikTok page. I'm gonna say creative because I try to be creative. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I know, like I could sit here and tell you, like, I know firsthand, me as myself, I don't want to watch someone ride bikes just if they're just gonna film a video and ride the bike straight. Like, tell me a story that is told through the lens of riding a bike.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do. Like I'm trying to creatively get you to watch me ride my bike by every video having a story inside of that bike ride. The bike ride is the thing that centers it all. You know, every video has something to do with the bike. But every video isn't just about riding the bike. You know, it's about perseverance. It's about going out and doing what you don't want to do. It's about checking off different parts of the trails. It's about exploring. It's about living every day. It's about recovery. It's about building like things for the bike. Everything surrounds itself around the bike, but the whole universe isn't just the bike.
And last question is, best advice for beginning riders.
Don't listen to people online.
Yeah.
Just buy a bike. Like if you sit here and you listen to Jimmy John and Joe Jane tell you every day how you need $1,000 bike and how you're wasting your money if you buy anything cheaper, or how you need to have the $300 paper thin bike seat because it's best for ergonomics, you're never gonna ride your bike.
Yeah.
If you listen to everybody tell you what's gonna make your bike comfortable, you're never gonna ride your bike. Buy the thick seat if that's what you want. Buy the Walmart bike if that's what you want. Wear what you want to wear. If you want to wear a heavy cotton t-shirt, wear a heavy cotton t-shirt, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to listen to you don't have to do it like I do it. You don't have to do it like anybody else does it. You have to do it the best way for you that makes you want to ride your bike.
Well, Diego, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I'm just so grateful to have you here. Where can people find you, man? Do you have, is there any websites, or, if you want to share your TikTok handle with everybody, where can people get a hold of you?
Yeah, right now I'm only on TikTok at BigManBikes on TikTok, or Strava also, I guess. I'm thinking about going to YouTube eventually. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure I could be franchising out to Instagram and all this, but right now I'm just on TikTok. If you guys want to follow me on there, if I go anywhere else, I'll let you know.
Absolutely, man. I highly suggest getting on YouTube, because they have YouTube has shorts now too. So I think all those shorts would be really cool. And then, as you know, Instagram has shorts on there as well. Just to get more outreach, I highly suggest it, because a lot of my views. It's crazy because one video will go really popular on YouTube Shorts, and then another one will go somewhere else. Like, it's all spread out. It's weird how it works out. But yeah, I highly suggest getting the shorts on all three of those. So that's awesome, man. Before we wrap up, Diego, any last words or for people watching or listening, some of your fans?
The best bike is the one that you have and the one that you ride.
Right.
Don't let anybody else tell you anything else. And most importantly, if there's anything you want to do in life, bike related, video related, anything related, just do it. Because if you don't do it, you're still going to want to do it a year from now, and you're just going to be even further behind. Take the leap. Take the jump. The only person that needs to believe in you is yourself. And if you can't do that for yourself, well, still do it, and maybe you could convince yourself.
Amen, bro. Man, we need you to be a motivational speaker too, bro. You need to get another page for that. Big Man Speaks, bro. We need to get that. But Diego, man, I appreciate you coming on again, man. This was an amazing show. Everybody listening, make sure you follow Diego at BigManBikes on TikTok. Support the page, show love. And if you've been thinking about getting into bikes, maybe this is your sign. Sometimes you don't need everything to be perfect. You just need to get outside, have fun, and be yourself. Thank you all for listening. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and share the episode. This is Jay Lira with Podcast 23, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.